Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Saturday evening, September 28, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially in the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your coworkers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the that's like you recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let's just take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that as of their latest update that just came out at 7:21 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:21 p.m. at Jamaica time, so that just came out about an hour and a half ago. We can definitely see that the Atlantic is very busy. Still have Hurricane Isaac right there to the west of the Azores Islands. We still have Tropical Storm Joyce right there across the northern portion of the main development region. We can also see that we have that strong tropical wave that has a high chance of development across the main development region as it pushes towards the west-northwest, possibly missing the Caribbean in general. And we also still have that hatched area that has a medium chance of development, a 50% chance across the Western Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities. First of all, we can definitely make out that we still have some leftover clouds associated with what Helene brought to portion of the US, even although the Hurricane Center is done with her in general, didn't even highlight her. We still have some leftover clouds, maybe bring some lingering isolated showers to the region. We can see the clouds associated with Isaac definitely pushing off screen towards the northeast. We can see the clouds associated with Joyce definitely being shared as we speak, so definitely, losing its strength right now. We can also see the huge amount of clouds associated with that strong tropical wave that has a high chance of development right there to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. And we can also see the clouds associated with the tropical wave that has been affecting portion of Jamaica today that has a medium chance of development when it heads into the Western Caribbean. If we take a look at the latest information on Hurricane Isaac, we see that as of right now, he's packing maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. And if we take a look at the hurricane scale, we know that 100 miles per hour meets the criteria for category 2 strength. We know that anywhere from 96 miles per hour to 110 miles per hour wind, definitely category 2. And if we take a look here, he's supposed to remain a hurricane until 6 p.m. on Sunday, then by 6 a.m. on Monday all the way through to 6 p.m. on Thursday, he should be downgraded back to a tropical storm as represented by the S. Right now, he's moving towards the northeast at 18 miles per hour. And we can definitely see him right there to the west of the Azores Islands right there. So they definitely dodged a bullet with that one. As it relates to Tropical Storm Joyce, we can see her right here to the northeast of the Caribbean. She is now packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, which makes her a low end of the scale tropical storm. You know that tropical storm criteria is about anywhere from 39 miles per hour to 73 miles per hour wind. So she's down there close to the low end of the scale, close to a tropical depression rather than close to hurricane status for sure. She is right now moving towards the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Still should remain a tropical storm in the S all the way up to 2 a.m. on Monday, then downgrade back to a tropical depression by 2 p.m. on Monday into Tuesday as she shifts to the north. However, let us focus our attention on the other systems that the Hurricane Center is currently watching. Firstly, we're going to be looking at the area that has a high chance of development. Then we're going to be looking at the area that has a medium chance of development near to Jamaica. So according to the Hurricane Center, an elongated area of low pressure located a few hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of this system, and a tropical depression will likely form during the early or middle part of next week while the system moves toward the west and then northwest across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. And we see that they've given it a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 48 hours, that's the next 2 days, and a 70% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. So it looks like this might just acquire the name Kirk for sure. Definitely have Isaac now, Joyce now as well. So Kirk is next in line, followed by Leslie. So more than likely it's gonna become Kirk. Maybe this system in the Western Caribbean becomes Leslie. According to the Hurricane Center, an area of low pressure is expected to form over the Western Caribbean Sea in a couple of days. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development thereafter, and a tropical depression could form around the middle part of next week. This system is expected to move northwestward into the Gulf of Mexico during the latter portion of next week, and interests in the northwestern Caribbean Sea and along the US Gulf Coast should monitor its progress. And we can see that right now they've given it a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days and a 50% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And we know how these things go, they always update every 6 hours, so we have to stay updated to see exactly what unfolds, to see if maybe the hatched area comes closer to Jamaica or over Jamaica or becomes a code red or whatever the case is. And I'll definitely be here to keep you posted with what happens. As it relates to what the supercomputer models are showing, we're going to be looking at the Euro, then the GFS as usual. This latest Euro run just came out this afternoon, and we're going to be looking at the timestamp right here. We're just going to be going out to the next one, John 68 hours, that's the next 7 days, and we're going to be keeping our attention right here across the central to the Western Caribbean into the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, where we have that area of development. So as we go out in time, look out for the moisture, the greens and the yellows. We can definitely see that even tomorrow we have more moisture to receive. Yes, we did indeed get some moisture from this system today, but not as widespread as the models were projecting. We had more in the way of overcast skies than anything else, if not overcast skies, sunny conditions, but we definitely had rainfall across portions of Jamaica today for sure. And the models are in consensus that there's more rainfall expected tonight. This is 9Z on Sunday, which is actually 4 a.m. on Sunday, and we see all of the greens represent the moisture across Jamaica. For reference, Jamaica is right here, and we're definitely embedded in all of that moisture for sure. Going out in time, we still see a lot of the moisture even as we head into Monday. 9Z on Monday is actually 4 a.m. So we still have more rainfall to receive according to this latest run of the Euro model. As we continue into Tuesday, we still have moisture across the region. 18Z on Tuesday is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So we see what's unfolding, and then most of the moisture starts to go into portions of the Western Caribbean and pushes towards the northwest, possibly developing right there at the end of the 1 John 68 hours. And we can also see what's possibly the other system. This could be Kirk across the northern portions of the main development region, and then this could be Leslie, who knows, as it relates to what the GFS model is showing for the same time period. This is as of 12Z on Sunday, which is actually 7 a.m. and we see the moisture still across portions of Jamaica. If not rainfall, it's going to be overcast for sure somewhere across the island. Still have a lot more moisture coming in on Monday. This is 0Z on Monday. Well, 0Z on Tuesday, which is actually 7 p.m. on Monday when calculated. Still have more moisture coming in. And when you look at that, we see that let's say the Central American gyre is trying to slingshot another area of low pressure coming out of this region in the southwestern Caribbean to the north of Panama and Costa Rica. Something similar to what happened with Helene when she was just getting started. You can definitely see the system trying to develop as it pushes towards the north and northwest. And who knows, we might get in on some more moisture just like what Helene brought, if not less or if not more. We have to stay updated to see what unfolds. And then we see that by the end of the 168 hours, the GFS has a strong system coming into portion of the Gulf of Mexico. We also have the isobars right here associated with what could be Tropical Storm Kirk, Who knows? We see a lot of isobars around. Another one right here to the east of the US. You even see another one right here if we roll back the time frame, somewhere between the east of Texas and Mexico's border right there. We'll see exactly what unfolds, and I'll definitely be here to keep you posted as time goes on. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in consensus that there's going to be a lot of rainfall coming out of the Caribbean within the next 7 days, and we can see all of the heavy rainfall or the abundance of moisture that's accumulated, as represented by the reds, the burgundies, the purples, the pinks. That represents anywhere from 2.5, 3, all the way up to what, 5 or 6 inches of rainfall. This is the Euro model showing all the rainfall from now up until 12 on Saturday, October 5. This is all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 7 a.m. on Saturday, October 5, sorry. We see all of the moisture stretching all the way from Central America to the west of Jamaica. Some of this could spill into southern Jamaica again with that moist southeasterly flow, and then push towards the northwest. According to the GFS, in earlier runs from earlier this week, the heaviest moisture was closer to Jamaica, then it backed off and went closer to Central America. Now it's back somewhere right there. We see the heaviest brunt of the moisture still between Central America and Jamaica. Definitely going to be a lashing portion of the Cayman Islands for sure, but we definitely have to stay updated because clearly each of these models are changing with every run, so we have to stay updated to see exactly what unfolds. It could be closer to the island, it could be closer to Central America. We just have to be on the alert just in case these forecasts change. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can definitely see that we have the ridges of high pressure to the north that we know are responsible for sending most of these entities from east to west. Definitely sending that tropical wave from east to west. The tropical wave is definitely right here to the east of Jamaica as we speak. We can see the symbol, the purple symbol associated with Tropical Storm Joyce right there across the northern portion of the North Atlantic. We can see the airflow pressure embedded in the tropical wave associated with that air that has a high chance of development to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. And off screen somewhere up there we have Hurricane Isaac. And if we take a look back at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can still make out these entities, what's left of Helene across the US, Hurricane Isaac spinning away, Tropical Storm Joyce being wind sheared off towards the north and east, definitely losing its strength as we speak. And we can see the clouds associated with that strong tropical that has a high chance of development, as well as the clouds associated with that tropical wave that's going to be bringing more rainfall to portions of Jamaica tonight into tomorrow for sure. And it also has a high chance of a medium chance of development across the western Caribbean sometime within the next 7 days. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean a little later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Saturday, September 28. It was stated that sections of most parishes in Jamaica would have received some rainfall on Saturday throughout the day for sure. Most parishes, we're talking about eastern, central, and western parishes. And just for reference, we know when we're talking about eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. But western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And the drill with northern and southern parishes. Northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And what ended up happening? As early as 6:40 a.m., the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base Doppler radar was posted because I guess the Cuban Doppler radar was glitching out, and we still have some issues with Weather Nerds infrared and visible close-up satellite images. And we have to be depending on what we are available or what we have available. And we can definitely see that we had some rainfall, the blues representing the light rainfall, the greens representing the moderate rainfall, and the yellows representing the heavy rainfall. And we definitely had some of that across northeastern portions of the island for sure. So more so, especially St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland got in on the brunt of that morning rainfall. Then as the day progressed, another post was made here on our Twitter page. By the way, keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but they're also made on our Instagram page at Weather.Jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we highlighted the visible satellite image from the NASA website, and it definitely showed that at around 8:06 a.m. we're still getting in on those clouds, bringing some isolated showers to sections of Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, and even portions of St. Thomas. Got in on some of the overcast skies, if not some isolated showers for sure, associated with the tropical wave. And even as the day progressed into the afternoon, this was about midday's infrared satellite image that was also posted, and it showed the convection, especially to the southeast of the island, associated with the tropical wave. There's a lot of wind shear in the area, pushing all of these high cold cloud tops off towards the west. So most of the clouds with the rainfall were more so to the east of where we had those upper level clouds being blown off to. But we definitely had some showers still lingering across portions of the island, some overcast skies across sections of the southeast at that time. And then the Cuban Doppler radar was working again at around 2:10 p.m. and the post highlighted the rainfall that portion of the island was receiving from portions of northern St. Catherine. We can definitely see that moisture pushing from east to west, northern Clarendon, southern St. Anne. So too Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland got in on some moderate to heavy rainfalls. We can see the greens and the yellows within there, and we can see by the key on the right. So we definitely had some areas receiving the rainfall that was predicted, others not so much. And then finally at around 5:15 p.m. in the late afternoon hours, the final Guantanamo Bay Naval Base Doppler radar image was posted, and it highlighted that around 5:15 we were getting some moderate to heavy rainfall still coming into portion of St. Thomas and Portland, Jamaica at that time. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely see that low level flow across the island, more so from east to west with the upper level winds, and more so, let's say, from east, northeast, west, southwest with the low level winds and clouds. For sure, definitely saw some strong thunderstorms to the northeast of the island before all was said and done with that day. And as stated before, the infrared satellite images from the weather nerd side have glitched out, still showing something from September the 27th. But if we take a look at the infrared, right here, the rainbow loop from the NASA website, we can definitely see the clouds, the showers, the thunderstorms associated with the tropical wave, especially to the south of Jamaica right there. Some of it definitely across portion of the island. And we can definitely make out the upper level winds pushing all the high cold cloud tops off towards the west. So yes, we're having rainfall in and around the area, but lots of strong wind shear definitely making it hard for these thunderstorms to strike or bring rainfall to the areas that really want it. And as for what took place on the Barbican camera today at around 2:24 p.m, we can see it was definitely dry, but we had cloudy conditions for sure. Just to indicate that yes, we were getting in on the cloudy skies, the upper level clouds pushing those high cold cloud tops up towards the west for sure. And by the way, keep in mind that you can see more live streams like this on See Jamaica's YouTube channel. If you don't know by now, we have a partnership with this channel where they show live streams of Crossroads, Halfway Tree, Flat Bridge, you name it. So subscribe today so that you don't miss out, because they're planning on increasing more of the cameras in and around the island. We definitely had some comments coming in on our Facebook page about the rainfall in Jamaica today for sure. We had K. Water stating a bit of sun peeping out in the hills of St. James, Verona Burke, light rain in Ocho Rios, Princess Isaacs, Blakey in St. Elizabeth. Sylvia Bando stating light showers in Brownstown, St. Anne since morning. Delaware Hines, light to moderate showers in Torrey Isle, St. Mary. We also had Shavar, Denalro confirming the rainfall in the east across St. Thomas and Portland regarding this post highlighting the rainfall in their area. And Tanrali Young stating St. Elizabeth experiencing heavy thunderstorms. So that definitely confirms what we saw. And if we take a look at the very latest infrared satellite image, the rainbow loop of Jamaica, right now we can definitely see Jamaica is definitely covered. This is the latest image as of 1 UTC, which is actually 8 p.m. So this just came out 14 minutes ago, and we can definitely see the entire island having some form of clouds across the region. Not gonna see much stars, if not a moon tonight at all, especially across the northeast where we have the deep convection. Might be getting on some heavy rainfall across portion of St. Mary, Portland as we speak, and there's definitely more where that came from as it relates to what's happening on the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. Alright, so this just came out at about 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 8:10 p.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out 4 minutes ago, and we can definitely make out the rainfall to the west of the island right there in the greens and yellows that will represent moderate to heavy rainfall. And we can also make out the rainfall right there across the northern portions of the island too, especially out to sea. So definitely across section of St. Mary, St. Anne got some of that rainfall. And we can also make out some more rainfall heading into St. Thomas and Portland as we speak tonight. So look out for that rainfall again across the same spots that have been receiving it for sure. And if we take a look at the latest Guantanamo Bay Naval Base radar, as a matter of fact, let's reload these images so that we have the very latest, and let's animate these images. So this is as of the latest image that just came out at, let's see, so that's 54 minutes past the hour, so that's about 7:54. We can definitely make out all the moisture associated with the tropical wave that has been affecting especially like eastern Jamaica, pushing from east to west. And we see the radar, it doesn't show much of Jamaica, but it does show the northeastern side to signify that we've been getting rainfall across the east for sure. Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, just to confirm what we were seeing on the satellite image as well as the Cuban Doppler radar image. As it relates to what we're seeing on the Cayman radar, we can also make out that rainfall that exited the St. Elizabeth coast, pushing westward to the south of Westmoreland. We can also see some isolated showers right there to the south of Grand Cayman as we speak. And if we take a look at the very latest Crossroads cam, we can definitely see it's going to be a fair night for the most part, but who knows, you might have a lingering shower or two across some spots. Definitely dry as we speak. People and the vehicles going about their business for sure. But for how long before maybe we get some rainfall associated with the tropical wave? There's definitely a tropical wave passing over us as we speak. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see about 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Sunday, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we're looking at the 18G, we're looking at the 18Z run from the GFS for sure. And this map is showing 18Z on Sunday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Sunday. And we do see Jamaica right here embedded in some slight yellow colors, which for the most part represents at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures, as we can see by the key on the right. And we know that the average temperatures for the month of September across Jamaica are about the same as 90 degrees Fahrenheit. When calculated, 90 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 32.2 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on a Sunday. Taking a look here at ways to beat the heat. If it's going to be hot in your hair, you know the drill. Ensure that you rest. Make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. Eat fresh fruit. You can't go wrong with cold foods, salads. You can't go wrong with watermelon, apples, grapes. Dress down, wear lightweight clothing, and use sunscreen. And turn the AC on. Don't be afraid to turn the AC on. Live comfortably. Even although the electric bill might be ridiculous, we only have one life to live. Live it. Turn the AC on for sure. And stay hydrated. Even if you don't feel thirsty, always have a cup of water, a bottle of water nearby. Drink a lot of water. and drink the water instead of drinking juice or drinks for sure. If we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Sunday, we can definitely see that majority of the Atlantic basin is definitely in the clear, as most of the Saharan dust is right there, stretching all the way from Africa across the main development region. It's definitely more so across the northern portion of the main development region. And we can definitely see a curling of the dust in there as well as in here. That represents Joyce right here, as well as the tropical wave right here, ingesting some of the dry air for sure. So this explains why Joyce is going to be struggling to develop, as well as these strong upper level winds that's shearing the system off as well. So it's ingesting that dry air. And this system, it has a lot of moisture to work with, so it might just develop, but it might not necessarily explode into maybe a major hurricane given the Saharan dust that is around that system. So I'll definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs. As it relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, it makes sense that we're still getting on those lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues from the Western Caribbean, the Gulf, into the Eastern and Central Caribbean. That now represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave heights all the way up to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds coming in from the east southeast for the most part across the Caribbean should be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 knots in some spots. And we can also see the wind spinning counterclockwise around Joyce, the strongest winds right there on the northeastern side, definitely all the way up to a tropical storm force, anywhere from 25 knots upward. And as relates to the close-up of Jamaica regarding the wind forecast, if it's not a southeasterly flow, it's going to be an east-southeasterly flow of the winds for sure, as we can see. So any rainfall that we get within the next 24 hours should be coming off of the sea for portions of St. Thomas, Portland, maybe sections of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clan Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland. And we might just have the air piling up across sections of some northern and western parishes, so look out for that afternoon rainfall if you're in the north. Sections of Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary. We know the drill. All of the air piles up when we have that daytime heating, that diurnal convection takes place. Low-level clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. So look out for that afternoon of rainfall. And with the upper-level winds still strong and coming in from the east, we might see more of what we've been seeing all day today, and this is what I am referring to. Look at the infrared right here. Look how fast all of these clouds are pushing from east to west from the Dominican Republic across Haiti. This is what we're referring to when we're talking about upper level winds. All the high cold cloud tops are being sheared off towards that direction. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be having rainfall where the clouds are being blown towards. More than likely the cloud already have the thunderstorms within there, maybe to the east of there, and then the high cold clouds are being blown off towards the west, bringing more we have overcast skies to areas west of there. And if we actually match the rainfall forecast now to what's in store for the island, and this is as of 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, which is actually 10 p.m. Jamaica time. And we see the blues that represent rainfall, even some greens in there, especially along the coastal areas of the south coast as well as eastern Jamaica for sure. Euro model a bit more robust with the darker blues and the greens across those areas. GFS has the rainfall across the same spots, but not as robust like what the Euro is showing. Skipping ahead now to about 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 5 a.m. Jamaica time, we see all of the rainfall in and around the island's waters. Some of this rainfall onshore across southern Jamaica as well as eastern Jamaica, maybe section of southeastern Manchester, southeastern Clarendon, southwestern St. Catherine, section of eastern St. Thomas and Portland. Again, we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with that. Skipping ahead now to about 10 a.m. on Sunday, which is actually 9 a.m. Jamaica time. We still see the blues represent rainfall, especially on the southern and eastern sides of the island for sure. We'll see how that goes, especially with that moist east-southeasterly flow. It could be rainfall, it could be cloud cover. So take these forecasts with a grain of salt. Something similar to what happened today could be happening again, given this current pattern with the strong wind shear. If we take a look here, this is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. We do see the blues represent rainfall, reaching all the way from the east to the west. And it actually makes sense. More than likely, the blues that represent rainfall should be across the east, if not the southeast, as well as across the north, especially across the northwest during the afternoon. This is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. So it makes sense that we could be getting on that afternoon rainfall across the western and northern portion of the island, pushing all of that out to sea, as well as that rainfall still coming in associated with the tropical wave from off of the sea from the east-southeast to affect sections of St. Thomas and Portland, maybe some southern parishes as well. And then we see that by 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 p.m. Jamaica time, we still have some lingering rainfall in and around the island as represented by the blues. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in consensus that it's going to be raining somewhere across Jamaica within the next 24 hours. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 3 on Monday. When calculated, they're both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday. And we do see the greens, we see the yellows, we see the oranges that represent anywhere from 0.2 all the way up to 0.75 for an inch of rainfall. We also see the reds that represent up to an inch or more of rainfall across some southern and eastern portions of the Euro, as well as western Jamaica on the GFS, but we see the consensus for southern and eastern Jamaica. We'll see how that goes. As stated, we have to take these forecasts with a grain of salt. It could be raining elsewhere rather than your area. It could be cloudier than anything else. Or you could get sunshine. We saw what happened today. You thought it would have been widespread across the entire island, but we saw what happened. So look out for that tomorrow, just in case. Just definitely keep your eye on the weather. For sure, it could be cloudy, it could be sunny, it could be rainy somewhere, especially on the south coast and the eastern portion of the island, for sure. And we're indeed grateful for the rainfall. Usually throughout the year, Kingston usually receives up to 100 millimeters of rainfall for the month of September. That's almost 4 inches of rainfall. Montego Bay usually receives close to 7 inches of rainfall. That's almost 175 millimeters of rainfall for the month of September. So we'll definitely take the rain. And keep in mind that you can visit weatherandclimate.com to find out what your specific parish receives throughout the year. And you can use this little graphic right here that does the rainfall calculations regarding what we usually receive on the rain gauge. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall, so you can do the math yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the clouds associated with the tropical wave bring some rainfall to portions of the central Caribbean into the western Caribbean too. Lots of strong wind shear across our region. We can also see the clouds associated with Tropical Storm Joyce, the clouds associated with the strong tropical wave that has a high chance of development. We can see Isaac off screen, what's left of Helene across the US, and we can see the usual afternoon thunderstorms across portions of Northern and South America, as well as portions of Central America. But let's see what's happening across the northeastern Caribbean. Let's see the Doppler radar images and see what's happening right now. So this latest Doppler radar is as of 8:20 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So this just came out 6 minutes ago, and we can definitely make out the greens, the yellows within those greens as well, that represent some light to moderate to some slightly heavy rainfall for sure to the north and south of Puerto Rico, in and around the US and British Virgin Islands, to the south and east of St. Kitts and Nevis, section of Antigua and Barbuda getting in some of the action. The waters in and around Dominica getting in some of the action as well. And if we load these images from earlier today, we can see that definitely a portion of central and western Puerto Rico got in on some heavy rainfall today, as we can see all of those yellows and those oranges within that. If we take a look at the Barbados radar, we do see some isolated sprinkles coming into portion of the eastern end of the island as we speak. We also see some isolated showers passing to the south of there, heading westward, as well as to the north of there, heading into portions of Dominica, Martinique, maybe St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines getting in on some of the action, more so St. Vincent than the Grenadines. You can also see some rainfall to the east of Grenada. Some of that might make it into portion of Grenada tonight if it's not already there. And we can also see some of that rainfall into Tobago, as well as portion of southern Trinidad too. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall across portion of northwestern Venezuela, section of Colombia, Honduras, coastal areas of El Salvador and Honduras, section of northern Guatemala, the Yucatan Peninsula. Not so much happening across Belize, just some feedback from their Doppler radar station. Don't see much happening across Cuba, just some isolated afternoon rainfall as well as sections of Florida too. And that's basically it. Not much taking place right now, but as relates what's expected within the next 24 hours. This map from the Euro and this map from a GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday. And we can see the greens, the yellows, the oranges are representing anywhere from 0.2 of an inch of rainfall all the way up to 0.75 of an inch of rainfall. And the reds all the way up to the purples are representing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. So rainfall definitely in store for sections of the Bahamas, more so the southern Bahamas, sections of Cuba, sections of the Cayman Islands getting in some of the rainfall, so to Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, sections of the Leeward Islands, anywhere from the US and British Virgin Islands eastward, so to Guadeloupe, Dominica, section of Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, sections of Barbados might get on some of the action too, so to sections of Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada. Scrolling southward, we can also see some rainfall in store for portions of Suriname, maybe section of French Guiana, section of Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula as well. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.